For destructive interference, similarly, what we can do for, okay, let me rub all of this. I wanted to leave this part. So what was the condition? That phi was equal to 2n pi, right? This was the condition we obtained. I'll tell you why. This is for maxima, right? So I'll write it here for minima. Now coming back to this point, for destructive interference, R is equal to minimum if what? If cos phi is equal to minimum. What is the minimum value of cos phi? Guys, it is not 0, it is -1. So cos phi has to be -1. That is the minimum value of cos, right? Sin and cos. So phi is equal to what? When is cos phi -1? Pi, 180 degrees, right? Then 3 pi, 5 pi, and so on. So this pi can be generalized by what? 2n minus 1 by 2, or just, we don't need 2 actually, 2n minus 1 pi, using n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now if there is a small thing which you might have noticed, that if I use phi is equal to 2n plus 1 pi, okay, if I use this thing instead of this 2n minus 1 pi, I can write the values n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. If I put n equal to 0, I'll get pi. If I put n equal to 1, I'll get 3 pi. So both of these things are right. Why didn't I use this? I used this. Why? Because while we drew the interference pattern at the center, what are these n? N is the number of nth fringes. This is the which fringe? I told you this is interference patterns and these are called fringes. These are bright fringes in green and these are dark fringes in red. All right. So where is the first fringe, second fringe, third fringe? That corresponds to the value of n. And at the center where n is equal to 0, there is always a bright fringe. There is no dark fringe. So that is why I have to use the value of n which starts from 1, not from 0. That is why for destructive interference I used this 2n minus 1 pi. Alright, and what will be the minimum value of R minimum would be equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. Instead of cos phi I am putting -1, so this term would be -1. So this would be what? A minus b whole square, and hence your answer would be R minimum will be equal to a minus b. So these are the condition. What is the condition? The part where we started, condition, this is the condition. For maxima, phase difference should be equal to 2n pi, and for minima, phase difference should be equal to 2n minus 1 into pi. These are the conditions which exactly explains when there is constructive and when there is destructive interference. Now, point to be noted, these are not the only conditions. There is one more condition, that now I will have to take you again back to +1 syllabus. There is a term called phase difference which you already know, which is called phi, right? There is also another term called path difference. What is path difference? Suppose I have to talk about this point on the interference pattern. This is the path of light from S2, this is the path of light from S1. The difference in length of path is basically path difference, and there is a relation between path difference and phase difference. Path difference, if I write it like P, then path difference is lambda upon 2 pi. Lambda is what? It is the wavelength of light. Lambda upon 2 pi into phase difference. This is the relation which we have taken from +1 syllabus. Now, phi is 2n pi. So what would be P? P is equal to lambda upon 2 pi into phi. Phi is 2n pi, right? So I'll write it n here. So 2 pi goes cancel out. You are left with P is equal to n lambda. So this is the second condition for constructive interference or maxima, that is either phi equal to 2n pi or path difference has to be n lambda. Similarly here, path difference for destructive interference would be lambda upon 2 pi into 2n minus 1, 2n, guys, 2n minus 1 pi. That's why I always tell you, try to listen to my words instead of, obviously you have to see what I'm writing, but sometimes we say it right, we write it wrong because a lot of things are going in our head that we have to give you a lot of information through this camera, through this video lecture, right? So you have to be very attentive when we are making some mistake. You should be able to figure it out spontaneously, right? Spot on. Lambda upon 2 pi into 2n minus 1 by pi. This cancels out. So the path difference for destructive interference, this is another condition, 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. These are two conditions for destructive interference. So this is the point where that derivation concludes that what are the conditions to obtain maximum minima. These are the conditions, right? Note it down.